Hello and I welcome you all to World Affairs English. I'm Prashant Dhawan. Now, when I first read about this news, I was a bit skeptical. Can this really happen? Is Pakistan actually approaching the infamous Rothschild family for financial support? But it's really happening. Over here, you can see the article. Because the IMF bailout package isn't really working out for the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Now, the Pakistani Prime Minister has approached the Rothschild family, the richest family in the entire world, for financial help in hope that perhaps these guys can save the drowning Pakistani economy. But we need to ask ourselves, can this really happen? Can the Rothschild family really save the Pakistani economy? Because the Pakistani media seems to be rather optimistic. They believe that something can happen because the delegation of the Rothschild and Co. they met with the Pakistani finance minister. There was a meeting, and we don't really know what is being discussed right now, but the Rothschild family has a very infamous history of lending money to very desperate countries that cannot even guarantee money from the IMF. You know what happened recently? When Pakistan asked the IMF for its funding, IMF literally told Pakistan, first of all, you guys need to function like a country. Imagine that. I mean, imagine a patient going to a doctor and he's saying that, doctor, you need to treat me. And the only thing the doctor says is, first of all, you need to function like a human being. So clearly, the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has its doubts. They are not sure whether Pakistan will be able to survive the next 10 to 15 years, whether IMF's lended money will even return or not. So when the international institutions aren't really helping Pakistan, now they are directly talking to private lenders. Now, I need you guys to understand how awkward it is for a country, for a government to ask money from a private lender. Obviously, these guys will probably lend money at ridiculously high interest rate. Pakistan will manage to survive another decade, but it will pretty much become a puppet of Rothschild and Co. Now, some of you might even ask here, you know what? I know about Pakistan's financial stability. A lot of channels make a lot of content about this. But what's so unique about the Rothschild family? Why suddenly, when the Pakistani government approached this Rothschild family, there are so many articles being written about it? What's so special about these guys? Now, if you are very new to YouTube, you just made your account yesterday, then you probably never heard about the Rothschild. Otherwise, there is a plethora of content available on YouTube about who is the Rothschild family, how much power do they have. Some thumbnails will even claim that these guys own around $500 trillion of net worth. Their total net worth is around that. But that's not true. First of all, you need to understand what exactly the Rothschild family is, how influential they are. Then perhaps you will be able to understand what's happening over here a lot better. Now, first of all, their actual net worth. The Rothschild family is not really the owner of 80% of the world's wealth. All this is fake news. The reality is that their total assets and their wealth around the world, it is estimated to be around roughly $500 billion. But you need to understand, all this wealth is distributed among the vast Rothschild family. There are around 70 to 80 family members right now. This family started in the 17th century in Frankfurt. They were bankers in their initial days. Slowly, they kept on growing through strategic marriages, and you can say a lot of wise business decisions led them to this massive fortune of $500 billion. Other than that, look, we don't really have any concrete evidence that this family was involved in any shady activities or they quote unquote run the world. But $500 billion itself, even if divided in a huge family, is a colossal amount. If you go to the Forbes website and check their real-time billionaires list, over there you will see that Elon Musk's net worth is around $190 billion. Then there is the Bernard Arnault family. Their net worth is around $200 billion. So imagine that. Both of these guys cannot compete with the Rothschild family when it comes to wealth. Actually, you know what? Even if you add all the so-called billionaires in this list, they actually won't be able to compete with the Rothschild family. Because look, these guys aren't rich because of their shares. It's not as if they suddenly made a company, they floated their shares in the market, and now the value of the shares have risen so much that their total net worth seems inflated. No. All this money that you see, $500 billion, It's very much at their disposal. They can actually spend this money. So this is a very, very powerful family that we are talking about here. And if some of you guys are thinking, wait, Pakistan's GDP is roughly around 300 or 400 billion dollars, right, in nominal terms. So can the Rothschild family just buy Pakistan? Can that happen? Well, no. Obviously, look, the nominal GDP of Pakistan is $376 billion. That is the gross domestic production in 1 year. So that does not equate to the entire value of Pakistan. So in order to buy Pakistan, I mean, as a country, Pakistan is probably worth trillions of dollars, even with all that debt. But what these guys can do is they can help Pakistan acquire more funds through other means, through private lenders, which will pretty much mean that Pakistan will lose the last monicum of freedom that it has as a nation. I mean, some of you might argue that it doesn't really have even that much freedom left. But once the private lenders come in and they start financing the Pakistani government, then Pakistan as a nation will become very different. They might even act different. I mean, I'm an optimistic guy. I hope that once the Rothschild family slowly start taking over the Pakistani financial institutions, eventually Pakistan will be forced to quote unquote behave like a rational nation. Now, some of you might ask, wait, all this will be done by a family? No, the family, the Rothschild family, they run a financial institution. It's called Rothschild and Co. Recently, they even decided to take this financial institution private. Yes. So, very soon, their shares won't be listed in the stock market. This will become an entirely privately owned entity of the Rothschild family. And as you can pretty much see, as soon as they will become a privately owned entity, pretty much like what Twitter is right now, what Elon Musk did was he purchased all the shares that were available to Twitter's owners, the shares that were available to the public. He took all those shares and made the company private. So the same thing is being done to Rothschild and Co. And as soon as they are doing this, they have suddenly now reached out to these financially crumbling nations that desperately need some money, and they are talking about creating some kind of a financial packages for these countries. Now, in Pakistan's case, all this seems very ironic because the Rothschild is a Jewish family. That is right. This is a Jewish family. And Pakistan being perhaps one of the most anti-Semitic nations on the planet, it's just ironic that in the end, when they desperately needed help, when even IMF was refusing aid to this country, they finally started negotiating with a Jewish family business, the Rothschild and Co. And I'm not really sure whether the Rothschild family will be able to save Pakistan or not, but definitely in the coming few years, you will see Pakistan's freedom, the little ounce of freedom that they have, it will begin to erode as well. And obviously, this topic will remain in news. It will impact India as well because we are talking about a nuclear armed nation that is right next to our border. So I will keep on making updated videos on this topic whenever there are some important updates. And finally, let me tell you guys about the massive sale that is going on in Unacademy right now. If you want to purchase a UPSC course, if you want to prepare for UPSC examination, then you can buy Unacademy's premium course. Simply go to the comment section and over here you will see this link. Just click on this link and here you can buy this unique combo offer where you can prepare for UPSC prelims, mains and optional all in a single purchase. If you buy all these things separately, you will probably have to pay around 15 to 20,000 rupees more. So the combo saves you a lot of money. And on top of that, right now there is a huge discount going on. You can get up to 30% off by simply using the code PD10. The prices will start falling even more. So use the code PD10 and save money. This is right now the end of the video. Thank you for listening. And as always, God bless you all.